Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Welcome, welcome. Let me know in the chat if you're getting sound from this end. All right. So, not hearing my sound on this end. So, I'm just going to hope that you're in the chat and you're hearing me. So, could you just comment in the chat if you're hearing me? That would be fantastic. All right, guys. So, welcome, welcome. Just let me know if you're hearing me in the chat there. I'm not sure if the sound is coming through, so just could you just indicate if you're hearing me in the chat? I'm not sure if I believe you're hearing me. I hope so. It seems as if you're hearing me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and the subscription button. I'm just trying to fix here. Just not getting my sound. Okay, here we go. Good. All right, guys, rock and come in. Guys, just rock and come in, rock and come in. All right. Welcome, 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 welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome to the Voices in Education. If you're a returning viewer, listener, subscriber, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure we're maintaining our safe space, our safe community. So we do not belittle anyone, we do not disrespect anyone, right? We don't diss anybody over here. And we do that where, so that everyone here can feel a sense of belonging, where you feel valued. And so, with the Olympic Games just a few days away, we have to talk about, some of these races before we actually get to race day, before things, start in terms of the heats and all of that. And so the big question this evening is, who will win the 100 meters for men? All right, so that's the question that I'm asking you this evening. So I want you to share in the chat. And of course, I want you to give us a call. All right, so I'm going to open the WhatsApp line so that you can give us a call. You will see the number there on screen. All right, so we would definitely love to hear from you. Who will win? All right. And so on screen, you can see the likes of Noah Lyles. All right. Letsile Tebogo, Oblique Seville, Kishane Thompson, and Ferdinand Omanyala. And of course, there are others. And so I would love to hear from you. Who do you believe is going to win this gold medal in Paris? All right. Bonjour, comment ça va? All right. Hello, how are you? Let me know, guys. So roll call, roll call. Who is here in the chat? Please hit the like button, hit the share button, and the subscription button, and let me know who is going to win in Paris. That's the big question. Will Noah Lyles, and I guess we can start there because Noah is consistent. And if you watch the video that I shared, perhaps a few days ago, you would recognize, what I shared there in the context of Noah. So Noah is consistent. So will it be that consistency, in terms of, determining who will win? Or will it be just the fact that someone is very fast, barring the experience at that particular level, and also perhaps lacking that consistency? And so would love to hear from you guys in this context, because this is a very good conversation for us to have. And if you're really excited about this event or track and field in general, as I suppose you are, then you might have your favorite going in. And again, this is a respectful space. So if you're team Noah, that's fine. If you're team Seville, that's fine. If you're team Kishane, that's fine. If you're team Ferdinand, that's fine. If you're team Letsile, that's fine. If you're team Akane, that's fine. So other athletes are there. Would love to hear from you. Who do you believe is going to win this one? All right, so that's a big question. And again, the WhatsApp number is on screen. You can definitely give us a call. We would love to hear from you. You can share in the chat as well. I'm looking in the chat, not seeing any comments just yet. Please remember to hit the like button as well. All right, and the subscription button. So close that X and hit the like button, hit the subscription button. All right, so in terms of I'm just looking here to see, I guess, 2024 as opposed to going back to 2023. But I guess we could go there in terms of just sharing. Let me see if we have anything just as of recent here. Well, we know them, but I'm just looking at my list here in this context. But, we have seen, times, and we have an understanding of, what to expect. And we also know who we want to win. And so that's the question I'm asking here. Who will win the men's 100 meters in Paris? All right. So do you believe it's going to be Kishane Thompson, Oblique Seville, Letsile Tebogo, Ferdinand Omanyala, or Noah Lyles. So, guys, I want you to talk to me in the chat and let me know who do you believe is going to win this 100 meters. It's definitely going to be a fantastic event, one that a lot of us are anticipating. For some of us, we'll have our pot covers out. And for others, the drum roll. I don't know if Justin, if you're here. But again, we're looking forward to the excitement, especially between Team Jamaica and Team USA. Hey, Celeste. Welcome, Kenny. Happy to see you there in the chat. And you're saying Thompson is going to get this 100%. So why Kishane, Kenny, if you can give us a call, you can definitely call us, or you can share in the chat, if that works better for you. But, for sure, would love to hear, the views around, all right, Kishane. So I like when persons come and drop the names, so we have a place to start now. So Thompson for the win here based on what Kenny is sharing in the chat there. All right. And so would love to hear a little bit, around that. One thing that I can share about Kishane, and Kenny, perhaps you would know this because you have been here, last season before Kishane, like when Kishane started, I guess, somewhat to appear on the scene, especially when he showed up for that one race event, we went before, mainstream media now doing their research. I actually did some digging, right, in terms of trying to figure out who is this mysterious person. And so now that they're coming, like I got some information in terms of the fact that he attended Garvey Massio in Clarendon and he was perhaps, somewhere there from Clarendon. So we kind of started to get a sense of who Kishane Thompson was from that time. So at this point when mainstream media is just doing the work, we did that already, right? And so that was there. Truly welcome, and truly saying Kishane and Noah for second. All right, so truly would love to hear some more too. Why you're saying Kishane and why Noah. So if you can give us a call, the WhatsApp number is on screen, or you can share more in the chat. That would be fantastic. And so, Kishane Thompson, has been on our radar I guess since that time in terms of trying to figure out, who is Kishane Thompson. But we did our work and were able to, make some connections in terms of trying to put the puzzle together in the context of at that time, who was this mystery, sprinter. And so it's fantastic to see, Kishane Thompson in this form. And so what I can share is that what we saw at the Jamaica National Trials, right? Kishane Thompson was pretty much sharing that. He shut it down because that was, I guess, the instruction from the coach. So he tried to shut it down. And, he was told to shut it down at about 60, 70 meters. So like the win that he got, he was running not to win the race, but he came. And some of the things that kind of, stick with me was, for example, one, he's trying to know how to control himself in terms of the rounds, so trying to slow down. And that is proven somewhat challenging for him. Still a learning, moment or experience for him, something that he's, developing. And the next thing that he shared too that stuck with me was the fact that he shared he does not know how fast he can go. And so that to me, stretches my imagination. That's beyond, limit in that sense where he's not able to say, well, I've consistently run, let's say 10-6. So I feel like, not 10-6, not 10-6, 9-6. So let's say, you could say, okay, I believe I'm like a 9-6 runner but he's not able to pretty much tell you. And, that is something that, remained with me. The other part of it too is that he's prone to injuries, right? And that part of it too makes me somewhat, fearful and just wondering how he's able to, I guess, or hopefully he's able to manage the rounds in a way that will not, wake up any of those injuries. And so in that context, I am saying, he's looking good. So to run 9.77 seconds effortlessly, slowing down, obviously, it shows that there is more in the tank, and that more could possibly give us in the 9-6, right? So that's definitely where I'm seeing there. Okay, so let's just say 977 fastest this season. He's a big threat, and a lot is not known about him. He was a wild card and came out of nowhere, and Oblique will come in second. All right. And so in this context, then, Kishane is there. And what I will say is that I am not sure in terms of hitting that big stage how he will respond to that. But as long as he's able to maintain, the composure, the psychological aspect of things, then I feel that he'll be okay. And once he's able to manage the rounds, right, then we will be on to something great for sure in the context of this matchup. But all right, Trudy, let me just address Trudy's second place for now, then move on to Oblique there from Casalis. Welcome, Jappy. Welcome, welcome. Guys, please remember to close the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscription button. Easiest ways to support us. So if you want to get super, we would appreciate that too. All right, and Noah Lyles has been very consistent. And he definitely knows, when to put in the work. He's a show person. He shows up and he shows up to perform. I feel like, given what we have seen, he understands how to, I guess, manage the crowd or the atmosphere in a way that does not affect his performance. And so that to me is an advantage, is experience, right? In terms of navigating and I guess moving through the rounds, consistency. And so if it is that, Kishane can be, that in terms of managing the rounds, and say, for example, if someone should try to run up on you, as long as you know that you're in a good spot, you don't try to do too much in terms of exerting too much. And so in that context, Noah Lyles is also one to watch. And I say this because he is getting better and seems to be peaking at the right time. Because if you think about, that time in London just the other day at the Diamond League, it tells me a lot in terms of Noah. I believe Noah is seeing the 9-7s in training because he is super confident. And so, and based on, I guess, the post race interview, that also indicates to me, given that he was expecting something better, that he's doing, 9-7s in training. So, with that said, I think that he has some more in the tank. But then what will happen is that this 100 meters, it's going to come down to execution. if you look at some of Noah's races, including the one there in London, he had a very, like, a poor start, right? A poor start. And so if we see Lyles and Thompson, for example, in the final, and Lyles' start is poor, then one can expect that Lyles is not going to catch a Kishane Thompson performing at his optimum, right? At his max, at his best. And so that to me is how you kind of study your opponent. So your opponent is sluggish outside of the blocks. You know that Thompson has a top end. So Noah cannot do that to himself at that point. You know, in terms of that. When I looked at the race again, Noah had to power through to the line. There was no holding up for Lyles. Like he ran very hard. And the next thing too, it was a negative wind. And so, you know, with a better, like a positive wind, we can expect, you know, to see better times. And I guess that goes for everybody that will line up on that particular day. But, you know, just going back to the point that I believe Noah Lyles is running 9.7s. All right. So I want you to get that understanding because those are some indicators based on what I have seen and just listening to him. It tells me that he's doing 9.7s. So in that, we can count him as a 9.7 athlete. Will that come on the day? I don't know, but I believe he's doing the 9.7s. All right, welcome, Sam, Kaylee, welcome. All right, so yeah, so basically, I get that from Lyles in that context, right? You mentioned who mentioned Seville? Caseless. You said Oblique is going to come second. All right, now. So with Oblique, I believe he's super confident and having had two fourth place, you know, finishes. I think he's ready to get onto that podium, right? And so in this context now for Oblique, and I'm going to say the same thing for Kishane too. When they're running, they need to just run straight to the line. Don't look left, don't look right. Don't look for anybody. Go by the line first in the name of Jesus before you look to cross somebody. All right. And I hope that, you know, their mindset is wired that way because sometimes when you do some things, you might not intend to do it, you know, but practice, let's say, makes perfect. So I hope that's not the situation. That running, looking left, right. So Oblique, no. When I looked at what happened at the Jamaica trials, right? I suspect that both athletes, Oblique and Kishane, they got similar instructions in terms of run the first few meters, shut it down, don't try to outrun any athlete, because if you listen to Kishane, he did not intend to win. Like, coach should not bother with that, you know. You just go out there, ensure that you secure your spot to make the team. It's not about showing whatever. But for him, as he explained, you know, he was not in a position to slow down. Like, he does not know how that, and he tried. Because if you looked when he ran all the way to Stadium East, like, he was saying, you know, coach, we're trying a coach. We try and coach said, no man, it's all right. You need to go back and talk to the media. And so you get that sense too in terms of the pressure and, you know, the fact that he knew that the media, everybody just wanted to talk to him. He just did not know what to do. And so for Kishane, you know, I would emphasize, you know, that psychological strength. You know, once he has that mental strength, I feel that he'll be fine. Once he has the mental strength, because obviously the physical in terms of abilities, talents, you know, that's obviously there. For Seville now, as I was sharing, I believe he got similar instructions to that of, Kishane. So while he equaled, that PB, right? And so in that context too, you realize that he had more. He did not try to outrun Kishane. We did not see that in terms of competition right there, right? But he knew that, I am in the second spot, I am good, right? And so this is the kind of situation in terms of the experience. So Oblique now, he has that experience to know that, okay, second is good. And so I feel that Oblique will perhaps in some way might be able to better manage the rounds than a Kishane who is trying to manage his speed. And so you perhaps will still see some quick times from Kishane, say for example in the semis or and so with Oblique now, I feel and I hope that this is the case, that he will be better able to manage the rounds, all right? And so in that context, we should see, I guess, something good, magnificent from the two. Who is going, if you're going to ask me about Oblique and Kishane, who is going to, if it were just the two of them, who would you put first? I guess a lot of persons, they're going to work with the numbers, right? Because that is what we have. Can Oblique Seville go 9 sevens? I believe that. I think he's doing that too. Because you see, when you see athletes just easing and cruising like Sunday morning, it tells you a lot, in terms of their confidence and in terms of the time. So, for example, at the Racers Grand Prix, when we saw Oblique, just looking around wondering, where is Noah? Like, if Sema come broke up some record, but I'll know me not see him. It tells you a lot. He could have gone, lower, obviously. And so that is something that is indicating to me that these three men so far, Noah, Oblique, and obviously Kishane. But for Kishane, I believe Kishane can go to 9-6. So that's the difference, though, where I would say with a Kishane. I believe Kishane has 9-6 in his legs. All right. And that is something that perhaps we are going to discover, hopefully, because that would be something amazing, not just for Jamaica, but for the sport in general. For Noah, as I shared earlier, I believe Noah as well as Seville, they have 9 sevens in their legs, right? I believe that. Given what I saw from Noah in London, right? And just how he was talking, he's doing 9 sevens, and I believe easily in training too. And so with that confidence, he's thinking that if he's able to manage the rounds properly, then he should be able to get this gold medal. So I feel that for Kishane, where we know the possibility, given what we have seen of, the 9-6 in his leg, he just needs to manage the round, and that might be the difference between him and a Lyles in the context of, let's say, the gold medal, because Lyles will be better able to manage the rounds to save more for the final, right? And so that's what we want from Kishane. If Kishane is able to do that, then we are going to see something else. Lyles will have to come and draw for a 9-6, right? Because I feel that Kishane is very, very capable of doing 9-6. He has 9-6 in his legs. As for Lyles, I'll say that he has 9 sevens. Likewise, Seville. All right, let me just take a look in the chat here. All right, so welcome, Samuel. And Samuel is saying if both stay fit, then we're seeing low 9 sevens from these. I think it will be tight for sure. And I think one has nine, as I was saying, one has 9-6 in the leg there. You Sam is saying you cannot call no a 9-7 until you see it done. But Sam, if you look at the race, right? I get what you're saying, but I'm calling Oblique for 9 sevens too, and I haven't seen him, in that sense. But when it tells you a lot in the context of the race, right? And what happened. And then again, as I shared, the wind was a negative wind, right? And at the London Diamond League stop. So that is indicating to me the possibility. Plus, he was a little bit, disappointed in the sense that he was expecting a better time, right? And so Lyles was 981. And remember, he's getting better. That was a PB, right? And so if it is that he's peaking at that time, like he's peaking at the right time. And so that for me is sending a big signal. He has 10 sevens in his leg. Like he's the one, like you can understand him, I guess, so much easier. I think the wind was minus 0.3. So it was a negative wind. And so I think he's doing 9 sevens. Let me just go back to the chat here. And Samson is saying Lyles ran 981 in an edge wind. Anyway, Paris is a few days he has experience in a big crowd. Yeah. And I spoke about that to Samuel in the context of his experience in terms of, managing, navigating the crowd and the atmosphere. He's able to do that. When I think about Kishane Thompson, for example, he does not have that wealth of experience, right, just yet. And so for me, that is like a new factor, right? And we have to consider that. So as I shared, like if he has that mental strength in terms of, just being in a good place psychologically, that's Kishane, then the rest will align itself because physically there's no question about, if he has the talent, but then it comes back to that mental strength because I mean, running is physical, but it's also psychological, right? And so in that context, I agree. Lyles obviously very experienced. Likewise, Seville, and just having had those two fourth place finishes, I believe that Seville is pretty much ready to get on, and show us something, right? In that context. Max Morgan, welcome, welcome. Thanks for liking. So guys, please remember to close the X and hit the like button, hit the subscription button. The WhatsApp number is on screen. Give me a call. Would love to hear from you. Somebody just call in and let people know that it's okay to call us, all right? Even if you just want to say, you like the program or, that's fine. Would love to hear your voice. All right. Rogers, welcome, welcome. And Omanyala to top the group. And of course, we cannot leave out Ferdinand Omanyala in this context. Omanyala is absolutely one to watch too, right? And so this is going to be exciting. 979. All right. And so, that was definitely a good time there at the Kenyan Olympic trials. And so that tells me a lot too in terms of Ferdinand managing the rounds and able to clock a good time in a final. And so that too is significant. And he's coming to this party too, obviously, has, 9 sevens in the leg. And so that is something that we definitely need to talk about in the context of this, because everyone has to be, on their A game. So that is why I'm saying, Noah Lyles not having a good start because we saw him in London. Like the start was very poor, I would say. And he's pretty much depending on that top end speed. But given the caliber, the quality of the athletes, the quality of the men, like he cannot play that game with some of these men here, right? And so I know he's working on the start for sure, But will that work out for him in the final? That's the big question too, right? And so we have to definitely bring, Omanyala into this conversation. And sometimes in both world record will go at this Olympic Games, 9.58, or perhaps in a little bit from now. Talk to me, Kiwi. Is a Kishane will run 9.5s when at this game or in a little bit from now? Oh, you're saying it's going to go in the finals. All right, Kiwi, give me a time because I like when you guys give me the times. I'm thinking it's going to be 9.6 in the 9.6. If Kishane is the one to win it, it's going to be in the 9.6. If we get something below 5.8, my word, my word, my word. Trust me. But I have a feeling it's going to be in the 9.6. And if that's the case, then it's going to be outside of, I believe, Noah's, range. But if it is a 9.7 run that we are going to see, I mean, Lyles is capable. Kishane obviously capable. Seville is capable. Omanyala is definitely capable. All right. So maybe the difference in this race, if everyone should come with their, speed and ready, it's going to be like a 9.6 run. That's what I'm thinking. But I love when you guys share in the chat. DJ Flood, welcome. 9.5 is not easy to run. All right. You have to put in the work. Definitely. And what I was sharing earlier, DJ Flood, is that the thing about Kishane, and that's something that remained with me, is that he does not know how fast he can go. Remember, he shut down the race at about 60, 70 meters. He does not know how fast he can go. And so it's not like when you could say, okay, perhaps, Seville knows that I have 9.7. I'm not yet at 9.6, but I've seen I can do 9.7. Likewise, I'm kind of confident that Lyles, he can go, 9.7s, right? So, but for Kishane, doing 9.7s, he's still not too sure how fast he can go. So that is telling me that he can go. And we see that, right? We see that based on his running, the fact that he's easing down, like easy like Sunday morning, looking for competition. But what I want him to do is just run against the clock and don't look left or right, right? And so obviously there is, a lot in the tank. But the only other, I guess the other concern is that he's prone to injuries, right? And so I don't know if exerting or doing too much is something that can trigger that. And that is why I'm saying, the word for Kishane is, I guess, managing or management. That's going to be key for him in terms of managing the rounds, managing his psychological state, and those, especially those two areas. I feel then he would be fine. Let's see. Watch, look, and listen. Welcome, welcome. Kishane is hungry for it. It is his time now to shine, and absolutely, I think he's ready for it. And Oblique can't go much faster because of his build. But I get what you're saying. I think he has a 9.7 in him. He has a 9.7 in him. So, and remember with him too, he started to do some of those, I guess, 200 meters. So the strength training. So when you look at that, I guess, he has put in some more work in that context, Oblique. And so we want to see what that will look like, because that's how we are seeing the faster time, because he's putting in some more work. All right. Abdul, welcome, welcome. And Abdul is saying 961 for the winner. Who is going to win that? Abdul? 961. Who is the winner with the 961? And Samsam is saying if Kishane gets up before Lyles, there will be no catching him back. And I believe he's going to do that, because Lyles, and that's the other thing too. Some things you just can't fix, right? Look at how Usain Bolt. Like, I don't think Usain Bolt gets the best of starts, right? But once he straightens up, like he's going to come and get you. So I feel that sometimes when something just don't work for you, I mean, you can try to fix it, but sometimes it's better if you leave it alone. And especially at this stage. So him trying to fix the start, it could pose a problem for him where he goes into that in one of those races and just fast start. Especially, I don't let me not say that, Lord. This mode. Let me not say that. Scrap that. We want the competition. The hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory. All right. But what I was trying to say without saying that is that sometimes you just have to leave things, the way they are. It worked for you. Just kind of straighten the strength as well as you try to, eliminate, weaknesses and so forth. But sometimes the energy that you put there, like you could divert it to something else and still get the same or a better result. Sometimes, sometimes. All right. And DJ Flood is saying, well, Lyles going to make him show us how fast he can go. And that would be fantastic. And I am wondering if, just if, they usually have what, 3 semis? So they should separate them. Well, I don't know how they're going to separate them, but maybe Oblique might end up somebody's going to end up in a final with one of the fast ones. So I'm suspecting they're going to separate Lyles for one, right? And it depends on, I guess, how they come in and the times. But we would want to see them separated until the end. But I suspect somebody. So talk to me, guys, about Tebogo. Like, he's a good candidate. I'm not sure, given how things are, if he's going to medal in the 100, but he's a very good candidate, and I won't rule him out because if anybody's slipping this one, I slide them, slide. So, at the London Diamond League stop there, Tebogo equaled, his national record and his personal best of 9.88. So again, he's pretty much in form at the right time, right? And so that for me is a good sign. And perhaps he will do better in the 200 meters as opposed to the 100 meters. But for sure, I am expecting this to be a very strong, strong field. For Zarnell Hughes, I don't know if he is going to have enough to come back. Perhaps he won't make the final, Zarnell Hughes of UK. He's just getting back his season best. What did he do? 10 seconds flat. And I feel that's perhaps not going to be enough for him to perhaps get into the final, right? So that's Zarnell. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to make the final. Remember too that we have Akani Simbini, the South African, and he's doing well. 986, that's the time I believe he ran in London. Season best for him too. So he's coming back. When you see these SBs and PBs, like he's coming into form at the right time. So I don't think, and even Andre, is Degas going to run the 100? I'm just thinking about Canada, perhaps. I don't even know if Degas is going to make this 100 final, but we'll see, right? And so, again, that is something I hope Akeem Blake, I hope he makes it. Yeah, is it Akeem or is it Akeem? Yeah, Akeem, right, for Jamaica. It's not Level. Level was fourth, so Akeem. I hope he makes it to the final. Akeem Blake. Yeah. So let me just Soji, welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessings to you, to Soji, channel member in the building. Welcome, welcome, Soji. Welcome, Soji. Talk to me, Soji. Kali. Let me know who is going to win the men's 100 meters. Let me see if I'm missing any calls there. All right, over on Sorry, guys. Shy. Arlene, good night to you over on WhatsApp there. I just seeing your comments. So sometimes I don't get to check the WhatsApp, guys, unless the calls are coming in, all right? So my apologies there. All right, so in that context, what I was talking about, Akani and the others, like the final itself is going to be one to some persons. I feel, as I said, Zarnell used. I doubt he's going to make it. And then you have to think about the other Americans too. Henny perhaps is going to make it. I'm not sure about Curly, but so at least two Americans, at least two Jamaicans, so that's four. And I would say Omanyala, five, Tebogo, six, right? And who else am I missing? Akane Simbini, seven. And who else can run in? I guess they will do 9 lanes. So it's pretty much like some people just not gonna make it. I don't know if DeGrasse, I don't know about DeGrasse, I don't know about Hughes right now, but and I don't even know about the world champ, not the world champion, Marcel, the Olympic champion. I don't even know if he's going to make the 100-meter finals this time around. So, you know, something there to look at, really. All right, so let me see here. Samsung is saying Tomoga is a better 200 runner. Yeah, I agree. And DJ for this, and the final is going to be epic and exciting. So, guys, make sure you guys come back here now. We'll be here. So, as you see, we're trying to come every evening. If it's even 30 minutes, we come in to talk about, something Paris and to keep the vibes going and the build up for the game. So, we'll be here for the races. Even if I have to dip on the road and use my phone to go live for 20 seconds, whatever it is, we'll try to figure something out. Because this is, one of my passions, obviously. All right, so definitely will be here. And watch what I listen saying Kishane go win 967. I think it's going to be a 9-6 race, all being well, right? And so, but again, if, for example, the rounds are not managed properly, we can get that 9-7, right? So we have to think of that. Well, at least coming from me, I'm thinking of that as a possibility. And so with a 9-7 race, though, it opens up the gate for a Lyles, a Seville, a Kishane, and a Omanyala. Perhaps these four athletes. And again, the difference too in terms of who is going to win might simply be the execution. So Lyles getting up out of the blocks late or in Kanga contacts so the gun, it went off too quickly. But right now, I feel like if we're looking at the times, Kishane is the one to beat. But my caution is, you see, the wealth of experience too, we have to respect that, right? And you see, as I mentioned, in terms of if he's able to, in terms of having that mental fortitude, that mental strength, and in terms of navigating that atmosphere, the crowd, the noise, the cameras, the lights, the action. And that part I'm not sure, is learning. And when we look at, just what happened at the National Stadium where it was just running from the cameras, like, and I guess, it's the excitement the first time. You just can't believe so you just run the fastest time, we're leading time. And, it's all of that. And so I believe that, he will learn and he will just understand and know how to navigate things. And watch the list is saying with ease. All right, so fantastic there. John Lasker, welcome. 9.61 will win any order. Who's going to win, John? Let me know. Gary, welcome. It's going to be a 9-6. So, Gary, tell me who you think is going to win this one. Hello, Ryan. Welcome. How are you?
I'm here not too well, but want to weigh in on this 100 meters male race. I think it's going to be a really, really good one. I underscore or score many of the points that were made by the persons in the chat and you as well. But let me just find out how you're doing before I get into talking about these athletes.
I am doing very well, and I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. Yeah. So, as it relates to the 100 meters, I think it's going to be down to persons who are able to hold their composure, as you would say, go through the rounds. But it's a it's a big thing. It's the stakes are high, and just imagine yourself being, one of 8 men in the world, one of the 8 fastest men in the world, for the 2024, and you're going to be looking around it and seeing the best contenders, and you will have to hold yourself together in order to execute in front of a full stadium, you know and it's going to take great courage, and just have that concentration going to make sure that you can execute at your best. And what I would like to add to this is that, when you reflect, not a lot of records, I would say, based on what I've seen so far, you know, uh, you don't see too many records being broken at the Olympics final, in the finals, so it speaks volume to what Usain had done years ago with breaking the records and being able to hold his composure at the most critical point in time. And let's see how things will go for these young men. Seville doing well throughout the year. Lyles doing his thing as well. Kishane, the Mister Man, has turned up and turned out and is turning it on. And Tebogo is always there. So it's going to be a good race. And sometimes, how this thing work out is that the person who is able to execute the best race in the final sometimes is that person who will take it there. But lots of interest will be in this one. You know, the likes of Kishane, who has been doing really, really well. Seville, who is doing well, beat Lyles in Jamaica a few weeks ago. And now to see Lyles going below that time, running that 981, it's speaking, that these guys are in good order and they are ready for the Olympic Games.
I'm not going to let you go sick or no sick, You need to tell me who is going to win.
I don't want to make a decision, being in the state that I am in here. But to be honest, based on what I have seen so far, the only thing that would stop Shane from winning is not being able to execute the rounds very well and to hold his composure in the biggest race of his life if he gets to that final. But based on his running that I have seen, I realize that he has lots left in the tank. He's quite composed. He has that built, that strong build, and he has been doing really well. So if he gets his best race out, I am thinking that the competition will be for second and third place.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you so much. But in the context of Kishane, you mentioned, once he's in the final, like he will be the one to beat. And so I want to know, and you also mentioned, I guess, managing the round, something that we shared here, earlier as well. How do you think, or how do you give credit to experience in terms of managing the atmosphere, the crowd, how do you credit that, or how do you weight that? What weight do you put on that in a context of this Olympic final?
Well, based on what I know personally, you know, experience weighs in a lot. Just to have a few races in front of, full stadiums, or, just having that experience will will give you that aura, and that, give you just that know-how to say, boy, I have done this before. But know aware that he has run. I'm speaking directly about Kishane now. He has experienced and will experience a full stadium and the chance like what will be at the Olympic. I am thinking that he will have to just try to keep himself composed, in order to execute. Persons like Lyles and so on, who, were they're on the circuit going through. Lyles is the 100 meters, world champion. So he has that experience already. So that box is checked for him. So that's something that he would be worried about too much, because he would say that is Lyles. I've done something similar before, but Kishane will have to have that extra in order to cover that. But in saying that as well, I'm thinking that he's coming from a good camp, and I'm sure that Stephen Francis will give him all the necessary, tools that he needs, and the rest will be up to him to go out there and execute.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ruben. I'll circle back to you in a bit, but I really appreciate some of the points or the points that you shared, especially in the context here that is coming from a good camp. He's from a good camp. And so the experience, the wealth of experience that is in that camp in terms of, as you shared, providing him with the requisite tools. So he needs those tools in his toolkit. So, how to navigate the crowd, the mental strength. And I guess they're getting that in terms of, that support as well, which is necessary. And obviously, they're putting in the work in terms of the physical. And so, again, that's, another take in terms of how we can view this encounter among these top athletes. Let me just go into the chat here. Okay, John is saying Seville is going to win 961. John, if you can give us a call, would love to hear you in that context, or if you can share some more in the chat. 961 in Seville's legs. All right. Would love to hear from you. And let me see. Watch, look, and listen. Kishane has his strength and don't know the level of his speed. He's going to surprise himself when he set that record. And that's the thing, he does not know how fast he can go, and that makes him, dangerous in a good way, of course, because it means that he's super fast and he's young. So once they're able to manage the injuries properly, he will definitely have a good career. Gary saying Kishane is going to win this one. All right, so fantastic there, guys. Remember to close the X and hit the thumbs up button and ensure that you hit the subscription button, all right? Because I see some names here, first time popping up in the chat, so ensure that you hit that subscription button and turn on your post notifications so that you do not miss any updates when we go live. We're on our road to Paris, and we'll be here, having conversations, every day whenever we can pop in for it, so definitely ensure that you stick and stay with us and just be a part of this community. All right. Again, it's a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe community. All right. Where everyone feels valued, a sense of belonging. All right. That is definitely important to us here. All right, so in that context, we're pretty much getting to our wrap up signal here. And so I'm just wondering if you have any further comments that you'd like to share in the chat. That would be fantastic as well. or if there is anyone who would like to give us a quick call, now is the time for you to give us, a call. One of the things perhaps we're not going to get to do that this evening, we want to kind of think about the medals and, what we're expecting to see. So that for sure is something that we could do. And, in that context, kind of, see how far we're projecting the medal count to be. All right. So, yeah, the 100 meters is going to be epic exciting, and I can't wait. I'm going to get my pot cover and the drum because Justin, I don't know if Justin is here in the chat. Justin says the drum roll for the Americans and the Jamaicans, they want the pot cover. So we're going to ensure that we sort that out on our side here just to make sure that we have that ready. But again, it's going to be something that, we should look out for. And based on the comments and, what everyone has shared so far and from this conversation, Kishane Thompson is pretty much the favorite here who we are expecting to win based on what was shared here in the context of this conversation. So if it is then, guys, I need to ask this question that Kishane is going to win. Who is going to come second and third? That's a question. So Ruren, I'm not sure if you're still here and you can talk to us again, jump in. Who is going to come second and third? So Kishane wins. Who is going to come second? By the way, I saw a comment. Was it Garmel? Probably it was Garmel. When I put up the video about Lyles being consistent, like he was pretty much saying Lyles is not even going to be in the top three. Right? So Lyles not coming first, second, or third. And I was like, not even a bronze. So, we have those comments too, as well in the context where some people are saying Lyles is not going to medal. And I am afraid, well, if Lyles doesn't win, then I hope that he has, that support that he needs. So, Ruren, I'm not sure, are you still here? All
Still
right,
here,
so now,
Natasha. Still here.
okay, wonderful. So I was just
Well,
asking you who is going to come second and third, silver and bronze,
I'm going
because you pretty much said
Seville
the goal
and
is for
Lyles.
Kishane.
Yes, I'm going Seville and Lyles.
So you're giving Seville the silver and Lyles the bronze.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now that is something. That is something. That is something for sure. All right. So, all right. So I guess the relays. My God, the relays are just going to have the relays. I don't know who is going to win the relays. America or USA? America or Jamaica? I guess we'll have to talk about relays when we get closer to that time. You see, relays, it's a sticky thing. And I guess, can we say pun intended, Rurian? It's a sticky thing when it comes down to Jamaica and the relays because I am seeing, I am seeing the relays, and I'm almost certain that Level is not on the 4x1 relay team, and I am wondering, like Alice, how come like JPS? And I'm saying, unless it's a case where he does not want to run the relays, because I'm saying he did the 100, I believe he was fourth, if my memory serves me well. He won the 200, so why wouldn't you want to use somebody that? I don't know. I honestly don't know, but we had this conversation last season with the World Championships and the selection. And I don't know why Jamaica cannot get it right, in terms of the technical aspect of the relating. So that's going to be definitely something that, we are going to talk about for sure. All right. So, Ruren, I'm not sure. Do you have any final comments before we go?
Yes, naturally. I think the relay needs, a whole, whole life by itself. So I wouldn't even go into the relays because there are lots of stuff that we need to explore in terms of makeup of team, arrangement of team, and who is the possibility of who will make up, a particular team. So, all of that we'll need to discuss as it relates to that. So I would say that needs a life by itself. But the 100 meters, the whole Olympic Games, it's going to be an extraordinary one. And I'm just hoping that each and everyone here will stick and stay with us. We will have discussions, and we want you to be a part of it. So watch it and come chat with us and let us see, what is happening as it relates to the Olympic Games. So thank you so much for the support. Thank you, Natasha Lee, for having me with you as well. Keep up the good work.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Ruren. Really appreciate you and all your contributions as well. And guys in the chat, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for sharing. And by the way, Ruren, watch, look, and listen is agreeing with you. Kishane Gold, Seville Silver, and Noah Bronze. So that's pretty much sums it up in terms of the medals in the 100 meters here. So again, thank you so much for coming over and sharing. Remember to put God first, in everything that you do. Sometimes we hit, rock bottom and we're down, but just remember there's only one place you can go and it's up. Once you're down, you can only go up. All right. Blessings and love, everyone. Thank you so much for maintaining our safe space, our safe community. Really appreciate it. Please remember to like, share, tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education, and ensure that you hit that subscription button and turn on your post notification so that you do not miss any updates from this channel. Thank you so much for
Natasha,
sticking and staying with us. And thank you so much for sharing. Ren, did I hear you coming in?
yes, I was reminding you to tell them about this backup channel just in case anything goes.
All All right, guys. So I'm going to quickly just drop our backup channel in the chat. We're trying to garner some support over there as well, because of some, past events. But we're good over here, but we still want your support over there so that, we can at least go live from that page, in the event anything should happen. So it's called Our Voices. So I'm just going to drop the link in the chat. So all you just need to do is just follow the link and just hit the subscription button. All right. So it's really our platform as well, but it's called Our Voices. Over here is Voices in Education. All right. So remember that, we are anticipating your support in whatever way that you can. The easiest ways to support us is by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And again, as I say and share all the time, this is a safe space for all of us. So if you're supporting our lives, you should be able to share that in a respectful way. If somebody else is supporting, Akani or Omanyala or a Kishane, it's okay, right? We share in a respectful way so we don't bash anyone and we don't belittle anyone. And that's how we maintain our safe space over here. All right. So thank you so much for maintaining that. I just dropped the link in the chat, guys. You can just click on it and hit that subscription button over on Our Voices. But make sure you subscribe here. Again, like, share, tell a friend to tell another friend about the Voices in Education and turn on your post notification. And for some of us, I know you're new in the chat. So hopefully you like the vibes and tomorrow you call us, man, and just talk to us. All right, so blessings to you. Watch, look, and listen. Thank you. Blessings to you. And Gary, thank you so much. And thank you for being a part of our safe community here. And Gary said Kishane is going to win, Seville is going to be second. All right, so again, blessings and love, and take care. And I will see you tomorrow in the next live. All right. Bye for now, everyone. And again, see you tomorrow.